Welcome to this week's episode of Humans in 5.
Every once in a while, we as huge movie buffs like to take a stroll down memory lane and remember some great films from the recent past. And as anthropologists, we love taking a critical look at some of the greats.
17 years ago, The Matrix was released. This film by the Wachowskis was revolutionary at the time. The action sequences, the cinematography, visually, the film was absolutely stunning. But on top of the visual spectacle, The Matrix tackled some pretty big philosophical themes that are often used when studying human society and culture.
One of these themes prevalent in The Matrix is the concept of hegemony. In political science, hegemony is the mechanism or process by which a group of elites maintain power and authority over a stratified or class-based society. In hegemonic circumstances, elites with power, money, and influence manage to maintain the status quo of a society in terms of politics and economics, social mores, and graces. However, in this framework, there's one big question. How can these elites convince the non-elite and working classes that the state of affairs, where elites hold power, is not only normal and inevitable, but correct and right?
The Marxist philosopher Antonio Gramsci developed the concept of cultural hegemony to explain how people in lower social classes might come to believe in the power of social elites, and indeed support and maintain the status quo even though it doesn't really benefit them. Gramsci suggested that elites don't just use money, power, and coercion to hold on to their position, but also ideology.
People in positions of power and those supporting them develop and disseminate cultural norms, practices, and ideas that become self-propagating across all social classes. These norms and ideas are presented as normal, common sense, and for the common good. As these ideas circulate in a society, those without power come to identify the social structures that keep power away from them as being normal and proper, rather than seeing them as tools that might oppress them.
So, how does all this tie in with a science fiction film about a futuristic cyberpunk reality? In The Matrix, robots, originally developed by humans, become an elite of sorts as they battle against humans and eventually manage to take power away from humans. Now that humans have become non-elites, how do the robots keep their power? They create the artificial reality of the Matrix.
They convince the humans under their control that they are not oppressed, but that they're living a normal 20th century life. The dream of this normal life keeps people calm and docile. As stated by Ricky Lee Allen in their article, Wake Up Neo, White Identity, Hegemony, and Consciousness in the Matrix, hegemony in this world operates by denying humans any real knowledge of their real position in society. They see the world of the Matrix as being normal and proper. Moreover, when people such as the main character Neo start to see how the status quo is really just helping the robots, the self-propagating power structure of this reality is hard to believe and hard to bear.
Another way this film addresses ideas of hegemony is by noting that only very few people see the Matrix for what it is. Only a handful of human survivors and people rescued from the Matrix can actually see the system at work. This is also true for real-world scenarios where cultural hegemony is at play. There are often social mores, norms, and ideologies we take for granted. Sometimes we accept things without taking a step back and critically thinking about these ideas that have been presented to us.
Are there social norms and mores that you take for granted? There are probably many, but it's up to us as individuals to unplug from the Matrix and start to take a closer look at our own little world to see if all of the ideas we may see as being fixed and normal are necessarily so when viewed with a wider lens.
Thanks for staying with us for this mind-bending episode, and we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.